Hello everyone, my name is Tabitha Hughes and I am a doctoral student at Liberty University, entering into the final stages of coursework before I began my dissertation process. And so I'm here to very quickly give you an overview of the research process and the research topic of my work in this course for HIWD 797, Late Antiquities. So first off, I just wanted to kind of give you an idea of what I researched. My research sought to explore how gender possibly connected and correlated with the practice of witchcraft in the Byzantine Empire, and how women who practiced witchcraft were both perceived and represented within their society and culture, especially in regard to the dynamic of power, control, and possible intentional marginalization. Sources that I used were, of course, primary sources, many of which came from early Eastern Orthodox church fathers. For example, I looked at work from Neophytus of Cyprus, some of the emperors, Theodosius I, Constantine, Constantius II, Justinian, the law codes associated with witchcraft, and punishments for such practices. And then, of course, there were secondary sources that had explored some of these correlations to gender and witchcraft as well. So I kind of looked at somewhat chronological approach, but not necessarily a rigid chronological approach. It was more of a comprehensive qualitative look at witchcraft and gender in general within the Byzantine Empire in the late antiquity age. So what I found throughout my research was that, yes, there were others that, practiced magical arts. That could be anything from divination to potion making, casting spells, to reading the entrails of animals. So all of that was kind of lumped together as magical arts and or witchcraft. And the laws never necessarily said specifically that witchcraft codes applied specifically and only to women. However, when you looked at the evidence and the background of what kind of organized religious thought and political thought in the Byzantine Empire, you definitely see a pattern of patriarchy and misogyny that emerges. Now, understanding the word misogyny is a modern term, and of course, in ancient times, they would not have recognized themselves as being, quote, misogynistic. However, prevailing attitudes that carried over from the ancient time and the Roman Empire itself certainly organized the structure of the Byzantine Empire, the society, the culture, the politics, the government, the interactions between male and female. All of that was certainly dominated from a patriarchal lens. Some key research that I looked at was from Katia S. Galaterius. I think that's how to pronounce it. Not possibly 100% sure, because I think it's a Greek name and origin. But she had a fascinating article on holy women and witchcraft, where she kind of broke down and discussed some of those preconceived notions about women and their role in the church, and how they were more deemed as the worthy practitioners of witchcraft, so to speak. I think going forward, this would be an interesting study to look at maybe a comparison of how witchcraft and gender was treated in both the West versus the East. Were there similarities? Were there differences? And then you could also bring in like social class. Was it different for those who were, say, in the rich or the upper echelon, like empresses, as opposed to being maybe poor? Or where did men fit into it? When you're talking about the saints and the male clerics. Were there instances where they were accused of witchcraft? So I think there's a lot of different ways that this subject could be approached going forward. But overall, I really enjoyed studying this topic. I learned a lot, and it opened up more questions for me to possibly explore in the future. Thank you.